Hey guys, and thank you so much for tuning in again for another episode of the Swan podcast, where we educate, empower, and evolve. Now, today's episode is brought to you today by a very special product, no hype. These TLC products. I know y'all seeing them everywhere, but y'all gotta listen to me when I say these products are remarkable. If it wasn't for these products, I wouldn't even be recording this episode right now. I mean, when I tell you my energy is up, my mood is up, I feel less anxious, I'm calm, my skin is glowing, I got energy. I'm losing 1 to 3 pounds a day with minimum effort. So I had to shout these products out today on today's episode. So I am specifically taking the resolution drops and the NRG and the CBD tea, the Harmony drops. I'm taking it all. I can't even help but to just buy it all and take it all because it works. I never hype products like this, guys. I never hype products like this. And you know that if you know me. But I had to take a moment to say, shout out to these TLC products, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hit my DM, the real Ashley Watkins, if you need you some samples, if you need to just see what it's about. If you're trying to get snatched, because look good, feel good, okay? Period. I'll see y'all in the summer when Corona lifts and we're off lockdown and we're feeling healthy and good and happy. All right, let's get into the show, y'all, because I'm too excited. Let's get into it. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into episode 3 of the Swan podcast. Now you know what it is. We're here to educate, empower, so you can evolve, so you can be a better person. That is part of human nature, right? We all want to be our best selves. So I'm giving you the tools to do so. I'm very, very, very excited to talk about this topic today. It was itching in my spirit to get this off my chest. Episode 3 is about scarcity trauma. Do you have a background like I did that is keeping you from being rich? Like, do you ever just wonder, like, why am I not rich? Like, why am I not wealthy? Like, everybody else got money, everybody else winning. What am I doing wrong? I work hard, I don't get it. If you feel like that, this episode is for you. If you're tired of struggling, if you just want a more abundant life, you just want more out of life, just period, this episode is for you. Is your mindset keeping you broke? That's the question we're asking today. And I'm going to give you some tips on how to create a more abundant life. Because you know what I'm saying? I'm about this money. I'm not ashamed of it. I want a luxurious, beautiful, loving, amazing, wealthy life. I mean, who doesn't? Sometimes we feel guilty about it, but let's keep it real. Everybody wants every part of their life to be abundant and affluent. So this topic screamed at me because on the last episode, our guest, Katrina Long, brought up scarcity trauma. And it's kind of hard to talk about trauma and not go down the scarcity road. I mean, the studies show that living in poverty and growing up in poverty is traumatizing. I mean, have you ever been poor? I don't know. But I don't know about y'all. I was raised in a very low socioeconomic household, so things were tight. As a matter of fact, let me talk about who I am, because you're probably following me on Instagram or on social media, and you probably want to know, who the hell is Ashley Watkins? Why do we even care? Like, who is she to tell us about our mindset? Let me tell you. I grew up in the projects. I grew up in the poorest neighborhood in the city of Buffalo, and things were really, really, really rough. I lived my life struggling, and I worked really, really, really hard. I moved me and my children to Buffalo, New York, from Buffalo, New York to Los Angeles with nothing. And I had a degree. I had all types of things. I felt like I could get any job. I was a young mom in my 20s. I felt like my career was shining. But over the years, I just could not accumulate wealth, like that money, right? Like, if you come from a community where you have people of color, you don't really see wealth like that. Like, you think you know people that have money, like in your mind they have money, like they got a little change, or they have a new car or something, or you see them dress nice, so you associate that with money. But that is your money narrative. Like, that's what you think having an abundance of life is. And for me, that was part of my story. Now, fast forward, I moved to Los Angeles, California, the most expensive city in the nation. In the nation. Just to take me and my kids out to eat is costing hundreds of dollars. The little shit I was doing in Buffalo, it was small talk compared to living in LA, which I love LA. Don't get me wrong. I love LA. I'm a LA person. I've completely conformed. Yes, I am an avocado toast person. I love what LA represents, and I think LA in a lot of ways does represent abundance. You get to see people living abundant lives, so it was very exciting. And I had a very successful personal training business. I mean, my success on social media for my couple of thousand followers had me in the runnings. I mean, I was able to keep up with the lifestyle of the people that live out here. But it's one thing that held me back from really awakening to wealth, really awakening to six-figure and like on and beyond $1 million business was scarcity mindset. And scarcity mindset is so interesting. It's so interesting because you won't know that you have this. You will really think you're fucking popping. Like, that's the worst part about it is you will really think you're popping. Like, I mean, you'll have enough to go out to eat and to live for the weekends and everything else. But when we talk about wealth, when we talk about abundance, when we talk about limitless lives, we don't have them. We live to look like we have that lifestyle. And I want to get into that. But before I get deep into that, I want to give the official definition. Y'all know how I am. I want to give the official definition of what a scarcity mindset or mentality is. So scarcity mindset is the belief that there will never be enough. Now, the reason I have to clarify this is because you may know some people that have money or have had money or had access to money, and you think they're doing pretty good for themselves, but they still have a scarcity mindset. And that's the belief that there is never enough. Now, when it comes to a scarcity mindset, that can apply to multiple things. It can apply to love. It can apply to relationships. You can feel like there just ain't enough men in the world. There just ain't enough good women in the world. There just ain't enough something. But scarcity mindset applies to a lot of things. That's why I said this is sneaky. Because you could be doing really well or think you are, and deep down inside feel completely unhappy because you're chasing something or you feel like you don't have enough. And we're going to get to the root of where this comes from. So this could apply to money, food, relationships, love, and even emotions. You can feel like you'll never get enough attention. You'll never get enough love. You'll never get enough affection. So in my mind, scarcity leads to greed, and it makes you never be grateful, which is one of my tips. If you really want to have a more abundant life, one of the first steps is to be grateful. Gratefulness is so amazing, guys. It sounds so stupid. And I remember Oprah said a long time ago, which, sidebar, I will always have Oprah references because Oprah knows about this law of attraction shit. That's why she is getting those coins. But anyways, she said, start a gratefulness journal. Every day, write down 3 things that you're grateful for, and it will change your life. And I started it years ago, and now it's like second nature to me, and I have seen the increase in every area of my life like no other. So, living testament. I'm going to give you 7 tips or signs to let you know that you may have a scarcity mindset. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I like receipts. And also, I know somebody's watching this right now going, that ain't me. Because I know that's how I am. I will literally be like, okay, what that got to do with me? I don't do that. So in case you're in a little denial, just for you. One sign that you have scarcity mindset is that it's very hard for you to be happy for other people. And this can show up in many different ways. You might be putting on this facade that you're happy for other people, but when you're with people, you kind of like count their pockets. You want to see how good they're doing. You want to see where they're measuring up. And if they do have something happy or good happen for them, like they get a promotion or they hit the lottery or they get something really, really good, they even have a great loving relationship, you secretly, like, you can't really fully be happy for them. Another way that this sign shows up is if you judge or shame or talk negatively about like really successful people, like celebrities. Like if you find yourself like doubting the Kardashians because they have money, or speaking ill of people that are super, super successful. I mean, like, who hates a successful person? And I will tell you, if you hate successful people, you will never be successful. Like, how could you ever think you're gonna attract some good shit to come to you when you hate people that have good shit that happen to them? Like, that's so like, I always talk about things on a conscious and a subconscious level. So you may not, that's why it's very important to be mindful and aware of your thoughts, because you may not even think you're doing this. You may think you're just going with the flow. You may think you just, oh, that person, you may even justify that person is bad or that person isn't that great. Listen, if you see success, one thing to do is celebrate success. Anybody that has an abundance of anything in their life, whether it be love, happiness, if they have a new baby, anything that's a blessing, you secretly, deep inside, you applaud them. That is a blessing. And that is also a sign that your abundance is near. But you're going to keep it away if you're blocking it. I also call that being a hater. I think a lot of people don't realize that they're haters, and they are. You know, you may deny some part of yourself, and you may tell yourself through your own psychosis that you don't like money. Money is bad. These people are evil, or they're not helping the poor, or they could be doing better, or they could be using their platform better and all that other stuff. That's bullshit. You're demonizing them because you don't have money or success or something that you want or need to work on in yourself. So I'm not trying to get on you too much, because I be Virgoing people. Don't let me whip you into shape. But check that. If you see someone cut you off in traffic and they're in a Maserati and you're just like, rich people do this and rich people do that. Hey, don't block your blessing. That person in that Maserati is an asshole. Don't condemn the Maserati or his money. Be like, okay, I see you. You can't drive, but I see you. Anyways, moving along. The second thing is related to the first thing, is you compare yourself to others. You constantly compare yourself to others. Whenever you might, and it's very easy to do this, number one, because we're constantly on social media. I know I am guilty myself, even if it's in a positive way because there could be a little positive envy a little bit when you see someone doing something and you're like, okay, sis, I see you snatched, you know? I want my body to be like that. I want that. I get it. But at the same time, you cannot be comparing yourself to others. All of this starts with self-love, and you have to love your uniqueness, everything about yourself fully. And honestly, we're not going to be perfect. If there's something about you that you don't like, work on it, improve it. Don't compare yourself to someone else. Compare yourself to your future self. I always like to tell myself, like, my future self is going to slap myself up that's here now. Because she's going to be like, bitch, thank you. Thank you so much for all this love and work you put into me. Now I am popping. And I can look up to my future self. Do that make sense? Like, I can look to her like she going to be popping. The work that I'm doing right now is going to pay off. These are seeds that I'm planting. I can't be comparing myself to nobody else. I ain't got time for that. And focusing on yourself helps with that. Some of y'all need to mind the business that pays you. Okay. The fifth sign that you may have scarcity mindset is that you secretly like when others fail. Are you guilty of this? Do you feel a little, did that hit you in the chest? Because if it hit you in the chest, then you've done it before. And I am guilty of all of these things. Like I said, I came from poverty. So these are things that I noticed within myself. And it wouldn't be like I wanted people to fail, but if somebody was doing good and something happened, it could even be a celebrity. I could be like, well, they have the money, or you like think that they deserve something bad to happen to them, like they've had so much good luck and so much good abundance that they needed to fail, or they could afford to fail. That is because you are mad, because you have scarcity mindset. So you get pleasure in seeing other people fail. Just look at that and bring some awareness to that if you're doing that. Because scarcity mindset, let's remember, scarcity mindset is a mindset that there is never enough. So when you believe that, you think other people have too much, and it's affecting how much you have. So the people that have too much, they must be greedy, or they must deserve for bad things to happen to them because you don't have shit. Let me tell you something. What they eat don't make you shit. What they bag that they winning right now has nothing to do with you and what you're doing or not doing. And that's a hard pill for some people to swallow. It's not the rich people's fault that you broke. We can't blame that no more. We live in a society where we need to take our power back and understand that we're not helpless and we're not victims. Okay, off my soapbox, because I'm never going to finish this, and this is a podcast. Number 4, you don't like sharing knowledge. I've encountered this a lot with a lot of entrepreneurs, and I had to start charging for my consultations because no one takes my advice when I tell them that the best way to grow your business or to bring more business to yourself or bring more money is to share your knowledge. If you share your knowledge, that just is an abundant mindset in itself, because you're saying there's more than enough information out there. I don't even have all the answers. I don't even have all the information. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm filling myself up. I'm overflowing, and I'm passing it on to the next generation. That is the only liable step. If you are in business for yourself, or if you're if you're in business for yourself, or you're in a job position, or you're anything in any position in life, you need to be ready to move on. And what better way to move on and get higher for yourself than to pass on information and knowledge to other people? And scarcity mindset will trick you and tell you all types of crazy shit. Like, if I got a homegirl and she do nails, and she been doing nails, and she humping, and she doing all her work, and she grinding, busting her ass doing nails, after a while, the idea is to scale that. The idea is to grow it to beyond limits. The idea is to have an online class, something that people can learn how to do nails and be international, so that she's not walking in a nail shop doing nails no more eventually. Some of y'all been in y'all business for 20 years. When are you going to pass the information on to other people? And that's keeping you stuck. Now, I'm using business as an example because it's an easy example. Let's say you teach someone and you start giving classes. Number 1, not only do you prove your value and prove that you're the most knowledgeable person in that field because you have so much knowledge to give away, but you also get that abundance back in business. You get what I'm saying? It's like an energy. Everything is energy. Money is energy. Business is energy. Everything is energy. Have y'all ever heard of Newton? But when you don't want to pass on information, pass on jewels, see other people win, that's a scarcity mindset, because you also are lying to yourself, telling yourself that they're going to be your competition, or they're going to start doing their own nails, or they're going to in some way affect your bags that you're getting. And that is a scarcity mindset, because you think it's not enough. It's more than enough. It's so many people being born right now. It's people being born while I'm talking. I'm just saying, think of abundance. Think of the vastness of the universe and how your talents are needed out there. And when you release that, some of y'all got aches in y'all bodies because y'all holding on to information. I ain't gonna hold you up. Okay. So the 5th sign that you have a scarcity mindset is your success means that you're winning over someone else. Like, it means that you're proving people wrong, or you're going to show them, or some job that you quit, or your ex, or somebody you got to prove a point to. You got to win. And that is a scarcity mindset, because it puts you in some sort of false race. You might be winning over somebody that's not even thinking about you. Now, don't get me wrong. Competition is always healthy. So to feel like you win is something, but I feel like only losers feel like that. Because if you feel like you gotta win against somebody, you already a loser. Winners win, period. We don't even have to even think of somebody to make up, to be mad at, to win against. We're gonna win. We know we're gonna win regardless. With the competition, without the competition, we focus, we laser, we in there. So we don't need to win over anybody. And also, when you put out that negative energy, it comes back to you. And it's funny because when you have a scarcity mindset, you don't even realize that you're keeping yourself broke and you can't win because you're trying to win. Did that make sense? I know, it's kind of twisted. Okay, the next sign that you have scarcity mindset is that you're not focused on your long-term goals or yourself, for the matter. You're not focused on the big picture. You're so caught up in comparing yourself to other people that you forgot your dreams, your goals, your purpose, who you are, what you like. You forget what the end game is because you see so many other people doing other things and you so busy comparing yourself to other people that you jumping in different lanes. You trying different things. You going from job to job. You can't even find yourself and you miss the big picture. And that comes from like really not knowing yourself, I'll say. Like that goes a little bit deeper. Because when you don't know yourself, you are comparing yourself to other people and you do think it's not enough wealth to go around, because when you know yourself and you know what you want, you know it's more than enough. You know you're going to get it. You don't even question it. Your faith is so strong that you're like, I don't even care if it's a little bit, I'm going to get the little bit and it's going to be more than enough for me. And this is how your mindset has to shift. If you really want success and love in any area of your life and you want abundance, this is where you have to shift. You can't go into what's going on right now because that's going to make you doubt yourself. And you have to really be empowered if you want an abundant life. And that comes from not feeling worthy. You know, if you feel like, you know, I'm not really worth it because you don't have the patience to feel like you can really do it. You ain't never really accomplished no goals. Your dreams might seem real big. They might seem like it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of time. You might even be a little bit scared. You know what I'm saying? But don't be scared. Know that your goal might take 5 years. I love long-term goals because the long-term goals say, like my man Nipsey say, it's a marathon. And it helps you to not focus on other people because you know where you're going. You know, my goal might be long, my journey might be long, but I'm going to get there. It's a matter of when I'm going to get there, but I'm going to get there. And you stay focused on your long-term goals. So the last sign that you have scarcity mindset, and don't worry, I'm gonna help y'all with this, guys. Don't worry, I'm not just roasting y'all today, is that you're not willing to take healthy risks or invest in yourself. This is something I see all the time. You know, your girl is good at marketing, and I talk to a lot of business owners, and I talk to them about investing into their businesses and growing their businesses, and they have scarcity mindset that's keeping them stuck. They're so scared to spend some money or let some money go to get a return on their investment, to be a better version of themselves, which is priceless and has a very high value. They're so scared to do that because they really, really, really want to hold on to what they have because they feel like there's not enough. I got bills now, I got this now, even though that small investment might take them to the next level. Just like right now, Harvard has free entrepreneurship business classes. Free entrepreneurship business classes. I'm going to say that again. Harvard has free entrepreneurship business classes. I have told many of people about it. Now ask me how many people signed up for it. And the thing about it is, when you do have this type of mindset where you're not willing to invest in yourself, you really self-sabotage your own future because you're convincing yourself that you don't have enough to pay for that course. You don't have enough to pay for that trainer. You don't have enough to pay for that life coach. You don't have enough to pay for therapy. There's never enough in your world. But in the meantime, you still broke. You still out of shape. You still unhealthy. Your life is still going down. So you're literally self-sabotaging yourself by not taking a healthy risk. And the other thing is, not investing in yourself is more risky than investing in yourself. So if you don't invest in yourself, if you don't spend that $100 to take that course, that $300 to get that trainer, if you don't do that and you stay obese, you stay in poverty, you stay needing mental health help, how is that helping you compared to if you take that risk and pay for it and you have the chance of it helping you? You know, but you can't weigh that out when you're in a scarcity mindset cycle because all you can think about is that there isn't enough. So now that we talked about what scarcity trauma is, signs to know if you have scarcity mindset, we are going to talk about some ways to create a more abundant life. And I want to give you a disclaimer. I just make words up. I was about to say, I want to pre-prep you. I want to give you a disclaimer. This is not going to be easy. This takes a lot of practice of a daily ritual of a couple of things combined with consistency to work. Let me repeat that. This is not going to be easy. If you've been raised 20, 30, 40 years of not having enough, struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, just having enough to pay your bills, doing this one time is not going to work for you. You're going to take months, maybe even years to unprogram that negative subconscious mind to have abundance and things flowing to you. But let me tell you how much worth it is. The first time I started to use some of these tips, and all of these tips for me came from business, came from being in therapy, came from doing the work on myself. Each time I used one of these tips, I saw instant money. I saw instant success. I met people that I needed to meet. I aligned with things that I wanted for my life and things that I wanted for my business. So when I tell you these things, this is not just to hype you or just to have something to talk about. These are things that I have proof. I would just find a random $50 bill. I would just get that job that I wanted for. I mean, it's like magic to this point, guys. It's like magic. Okay. So my first tip is to watch your words. I know, guys, I know. Sounds like some hokey law of attraction, blase blah, superstitious stuff, but it's so true that it's just, I can't stress how much your words have so much power, and we speak life into things. We create the life that we want through the things that we say. I am a word police. If you're ever around me and you try to talk some broke shit around me, I will check you. That's how serious I am about it. I don't even want to hear it. But I want to help you with this if you are doing this. So if you constantly say things like, oh, it's never enough hours in a day, I never have enough, if it ain't one thing, it's another, something's got to give, I can't take it, I'm always broke, oh girl, I'm broke right now. If that sounds like you, or even if you complain, start by just paying attention to that. I always start with awareness. I start everything with awareness. I'm a broken record with this. If awareness is shining a light on it, be a fly on the wall to your thoughts. Make sure that you are not speaking negatively. Take the words, I am broke, out of your vocabulary. Never say it again. Ball it up, throw it in the trash. Never say it again. I promise you, you will thank me. Never say it again. Say, my money is coming to me. Replace it with something. Say, I don't have the money yet. And some people will say, don't say negative things like don't. Make up whatever works for you. At first, these things are going to feel really weird because you're so in a ritual and a pattern of speaking brokenness and negativity and scarcity over your life that to start to speak in an abundant way is going to be such a struggle. But I promise, stick with it. Make a list of affirmations. So, okay, guys, you want to hear my affirmations? I know, they're corny. I get money, period. Like 50 Cent, I get money, money I got. Money flows to me. Money comes to me easily. I love money. I get money. I always make money. Everything I do succeeds. Everything I touch turns to gold. I am a success. I am healthy, wealthy, and free. I am grateful for my life. I have an abundant life. Good things always happen to me. Good things always come my way. I am aligned with all the good things. Like, I could just flow because I'm like literally religious about this, guys. I'm not religious about a lot of things, but when I'm off, I have affirmations hanging on my wall. I have them written by my desk. I have them in my nightstand. When I'm off, I read them out loud. I say them because I'll tell you, when you're feeling really bad about yourself, it will be hard to say, I am healthy, wealthy, free, and beautiful. I deserve a luxurious life. It will be hard to look yourself in the mirror and say those words, but you got to do it because you deserve it. Okay. And I always like to say, I have more than enough. And every time I say it, I end up getting more and more, and it becomes more true, and I end up having more than enough, guys. I'm telling you. And with that being said, my second tip is to be grateful. Gratefulness is so important. You will notice in your life when you are complaining a lot and you are not grateful, nothing goes right. I mean, you will be saying nothing is going right, and you will be right. Because when you are not grateful, nothing can or will go right. You can start by I remember I worked at a shitty job, which I won't name. And I was so annoyed every time I got off work. So I started by going to the voice memos in my phone and naming 3 things I was grateful for from my shift. Ooh, it was hard. People were getting on my last nerve. So I was pulling from stuff. I'm like, I'm grateful that I was fighting shit. And it was hard. But it worked. I started making more money. I started doing better. I started being happier. I started just going to sleep when I got off work, feeling better. It works, guys. Just be grateful. If you have to, just in your journal, because those of us that journal, I've been journaling since I was a kid. And sometimes when you journal, you start to get negative. Like, you be negative as fuck in the journal. Like, it'd be like, dear journal, I hate my life. So start with, and don't just always write something to cry about or something to feel bad about. Start with what makes you feel good. Like, a lot of times, I'm very grateful for having a roof over my head. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful. I ain't gonna go into my story, but I'm grateful. Anywho, the next tip is to give. I know this is hard. This was the hardest thing for me. And every book I was reading on prosperity and abundance kept saying to tithe and to give and how it was gonna help. And I was like, I don't care. I don't have enough to give anybody. I'm gonna give something away I don't got. My scarcity mindset was so strong that I was convinced that there was no way in hell I could give anybody anything. And I was low-key traumatized from Christianity and the negative dogmatic ways of some of the institutions I was part of. So I was just like, not giving anybody anything. Don't care, not doing it. And I really had to be like, okay, I need to stop that, and I need to figure out how to do this, because every single successful person says you need to give. So what I do is I give in a way that feels good to me. If I feel like I see someone and I have $2 extra, I give it to them. If there's a small business I super believe in and I think their products are really good, I spend my last on it. I give, and it always comes back. And when you give and you have the belief, this gonna come back to me 3 times fold. Like, tithing is so funny because tithing actually works. Like, I don't care if you think churches are greedy and everything else. Tithing works because you literally have the belief and the energy output that it's gonna come back to you times 3 or times 10 or whatever you believe. And that energy actually has your blessings coming back to you. It's actually your belief. So I believe, give, guys, even if it's $5, give to something you truly believe in, that you will feel good giving to and feel proud giving to. It's never, whenever I give, even if it's like my homegirl that does something and I cash out her $20, like a tip or something, it feels like that's my tithing. It feels good to me because it feels like I believe in it. I got an even exchange of energy if I believe in what that person does, and it just feels good and it just works. Just do it. It just works. The other thing is to believe in a higher power or something bigger than yourself. Nothing helps with scarcity mindset more than this. It's like believing you have a team. Now, I don't want to get religious, so it's whatever you believe in. If you believe it's the universe, angels, guardian angels, your ancestors, orishas, anything you believe that is bigger than yourself. Now, if you're atheist, I don't know. Okay, if you're atheist, believe that that power is coming from within you. Something bigger than your fears. Something bigger that's going to let you know something got your back. I mean, it's nothing more powerful for me to be like, this is me and God. I could walk up into a job interview and be like, all right, God, what we about to say? And that helps you to not feel alone, not feel like you're struggling, not feel like it's a battle that is never enough and you're never going to be enough to be able to conquer. Who bigger than God? Who gonna fight a battle bigger than God? I mean, you tell me, or the universe, or the energy that created the world. You tell me, can anything fight that? I mean, I don't know. That empowers me so much. And it keeps me really rooted and feeling really safe and secure. Like, all my needs will always be met. And it helps me to believe those affirmations. I mean, it's really powerful. Okay. And my last tip is believing and knowing that money is good. That is a big, big, big one, guys. I mean, how many times have you told yourself, well, I don't need that much money. I don't want to be greedy. As long as I pay my bills, that's enough. I just want to do this. I just like, how many times have you put the cap on yourself because you think somewhere deep down inside that if you became rich, that it would be some sort of terrible, evil thing and you'd like be like some Cruella de Vil because you have money. I want to help you guys a lot with this, so I'm going to share with you the book that I'm reading. Yes, because I want you to be a swan, and I am a book nerd, and this is the last book that I read, so it's super on the tip of my tongue, and I read a little bit of it every night before I go to bed, and when I feel a little bit financially insecure, because you know I'm human, but it's called Your Infinite Power to Be Rich. Now, like I said in the beginning of the episode, this isn't all about money. It's not about money, but it is about having an abundant mind and having an abundant life. And I don't know about you, but I want more life, more love, more happiness, more beauty, more luxury, everything. I want it all, shit. It's called Your Infinite Power to Be Rich. So he is talking about money, but he's talking about abundance. It's by Dr. Joseph Murphy, I'm sorry, but I'm so bad with names, but it's by Dr. Joseph Murphy. It's a really old book. And quick story, I was in the beginning of putting this podcast together one day walking to the gym, and walking helps me a lot. Like when I'm feeling too in my head, I just gotta move. I was like, I'm not gonna drive to the gym, I'm gonna walk this energy off. So I walk under a bridge and I find 3 books with a bottle sitting on them. Like, I didn't understand this. I'm very weird and hokey and spiritual, so I'm like, this is a sign. But the books were this book and 2 other books that were about abundance and riches, and I felt like, what the entire fuck? Who the hell wants me to be a billionaire? So I picked them up, and the cover of this, it was very weird. Somebody must have did a ritual or some shit, but I don't, because the cover looked like it was burned. Who knows? I mean, I live in North Hollywood. Anything could happen. But anyways, this book is really awesome. And for no other reason than that weird ass story, I read it. So he says a sure way to be financially secure is to do what I just said, is to believe that money is good. And I'm going to read the paragraph that resonated really well with me. It says, money is a medium of exchange. It is a symbol of freedom, beauty, luxury, power, refinement, and rich and joyous living. Money may be looked upon as a divine idea, maintaining the economic health of the nations. It should be used wisely, judiciously, and constructively. You become financially secure by impressing in your mind that money is not only good, but very good, and it blesses mankind in countless ways. In your mind, continue to imagine you are a distribution center, that you possess all sorts of riches, that you are bestowing blessing and blessings onto others. As you do this, you're opening the way for still greater supplies to flow in towards you. Your motive is right. You know in your heart that you have the right to plenty of money. You expect it to flow in avalanches of abundance. Your security and happiness are results of the wise use of the power and wisdom resident in your subconscious mind. And I love that. This is a doctor that's actually a research fellow at the University of India. So it's definitely a spiritual type book, but it's super, super good. And I know me, like I said, coming from my household, we used to eat our food because we didn't want to scrape the rest in the trash. And I remember my therapist said, the food you throw away is not, there's not somebody in Africa starving because you threw that away. And you have to laugh a little bit because you think of these little things are frivolous, but we live a lot of our lives in the mindset of there is not enough. So I just want to help you evolve to that next level, whether it be your career, your love life, whatever it is that you want. You are enough. You are more than enough. You deserve more than enough. You deserve riches, wealth, beauty, and everything, your best possible life. And that's what this is about, evolving into the swan, who you are truly meant to be. And if you do believe in a higher power, just know that that higher power wants the best for you. So thank you for giving me your ears, your hearts, and your minds today, guys. Take these tips and words and share them with others in your community. Also, like us on Instagram, The Swan Podcast, and The Real Ashley Watkins. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, all the platforms, guys, all the platforms. And definitely link in with us on YouTube, guys. Press that like button, subscribe. You know how YouTube is, guys. We need those likes so that YouTube knows that you guys like this type of content. So let's keep the love flowing. I wish you all abundant lives, safety, health, beauty, wealth, everything that you want. It's all yours. It's all yours. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time on the Swan Podcast, where we educate, empower, and evolve. Deuces.